In this video, let's discuss a GRE Quant problem solving question, medium difficulty question. The sample question is from rates focusing on work time. This question will help us understand how to frame equations for any work time question. Let's get started. A and B together complete a work in 4 days. B and C together complete it in 6 days. C and A together complete it in 5 days. What we need to find out is, working independently, who will finish the work in the least amount of time? The most efficient person is the one who is going to finish it in the least amount of time. We also need to find out in how many days does that person finish it. Let's assign variables. The variables I'm going to assign are for this. I'm going to assign variables for the fraction of work done by A, B and C in a day. So A is the fraction of work done by A in a day, B is the fraction of work done by B in a day, and C is the fraction of work done by C in a day. Let's just take a numerical example to understand what it means. Let's pick someone P. P does the work in 40 days, let's say. So in one day, what is the fraction of work that P will do? P will do 1/40th of the work in a day. So the variable that I'm assigning as A, B and C actually are representative of the fraction of work done by A, B and C in a day. Let's pick the first part of statement 1. It says A and B together can finish the work in 4 days. What's the fraction of work done by A in a day? A. What's the fraction of work done by B in a day? B. So fraction of work done by A and B together will be equal to A plus B. We know they complete the task in 4 days. They finish the task in 4 days. In one day, what fraction of the work will they do? They will do 1/4 of the fraction of the work. This is in number terms. This is in variable terms because the fraction of work done by A, fraction of work done by B, together fraction of work done by A and B together, that is equal to 1/4. So this is the basis to form equations for any work time questions. You can add the fraction of work done. You can never add the time taken. Adding time taken makes no sense at all. So equation 1 is A plus B equals 1/4. B and C together can finish the work in 6 days. So left hand side is going to be B plus C. They do the work in 6 days. What is B plus C? B plus C is a fraction of work done by B and C in one day. So in a day they will complete 1/6 of the work. So equation 2 is B plus C is 1/6. Along the same lines, C plus A equals 1/5 is the third equation. Let's solve these three equations with three variables. Find the value of A, B and C. Whichever is a larger value is going to be the person who is the most efficient. And then let's spend a minute to find out how much time will that person take. Let's come to that as a last bit. How do we solve these equations? I'm going to add all these three equations, 1, 2 and 3. I'm going to do it in the next slide, but let's see what happens. I have how many A's? 2 A's. I have how many B's? I have 2 B's. I have how many C's? I have 2 C's. So left hand side is going to be equal to 2 times of A plus B plus C. That is equal to 1/4 plus 1/6 plus 1/5. Take the LCM of 4, 6 and 5, which is equal to 60. 1/4 can be written as 15/60. So this is going to be a 15. 1/6 is a 10/60, therefore a 10. 1/5 is a 12/60, therefore a 12. So A plus B plus C will be equal to 2 taken common out. It comes to a denominator. We'll leave the denominator as a 120. 15 plus 10, 25 plus 12, which is equal to 37. Let's call this as equation number 4. So what is this? Let's understand what is the significance of this thing. A plus B plus C. Fraction of work done by A plus fraction of work done by B plus fraction of work done by C in one day. So summation of these three is a fraction of work done when all three of them work together. That is 37/120. We need to find out A individually, B individually and C individually. How are we going to go about it? We can do it in two ways. I'll solve one in a written form, and when we're recapping it in a printed form, we'll approach it in a slightly different way. This is absolutely no difference or no greater efficiency of one method over the other. Just that there are two ways of doing it. I just want to walk you through both of them. Let me subtract equation 1 from it. What is equation 1? A and B finish 1/4 of the work in a day. So A plus B is equal to 1/4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this denominator as a 120. So numerator correspondingly will become 30. So 30/120 is the same as 1/4. Subtract equation 1 from equation 4. Look at the left hand side. A and B will get cancelled. We'll be left with C. The denominator is the same for both these fractions. So 120 is the common denominator. 37 minus 30 is equal to 7. So we got the value of C. What is C? C is the fraction of work done by C in one day. That is 7/120. Just going to run through the same exercise. And what I'm going to do in next step is 4 minus 2. And in the third step, it's 4 minus 3. And we'll find out what we get. Equation 4 is A plus B plus C. This is equal to 37/120. Equation 2 is b plus c is equal to 1 by 6. Let's rewrite it to have the same 120 as a denominator. So that's going to be equal to a 20 by 120, multiplying both by a 20. Subtract equation 2 from equation 4. B plus C gets cancelled. We'll find the value of A. A is equal to 120 in the denominator, 37 minus 20, which is a 17. Repeat the same exercise here. Subtracting equation 3 from 4. We'll get the value for B. We'll quickly run through that too. So A plus B plus C, this is equal to 37 upon 120. No change there. Equation 3 is C plus A. So C plus A. This is equal to 1 upon 5. I'll directly write it as 24 upon 120. Subtract equation 3 from equation 4. C and A will get cancelled with C and A. We'll be left with B in the left hand side. 120 is a common denominator. 37 minus 24 is equal to 13. So you found the value of A, found the value of B, and found the value of C. All three numbers have the same denominator 120. Let's pick the one which has the highest numerator, which happens to be A. So A is the most efficient. So A finishes 17 by 1/20th of the work in a day. So in how many days will A finish the task? For example, go back to that simple example I had. P completed the work in 40 days. So in one day, we said P will complete 1 by 40th of the task. Let's run through in the reverse order. If in one day, P finishes 1 by 40th of the task, P will take 40 days to finish the task. So whatever is a fraction of work done in a day, the reciprocal of that will give us a number of days taken. A finishes 17 by 1/20th of the work in a day. This is a fraction completed in a day. So the number of days that A will take is going to be equal to the reciprocal of this, which is 120 upon 17. Let's quickly run through this. Till this part, the method is going to be the same in this and the printed form. In these two steps, I've just arrived at the answer in a slightly different fashion. Let's run through it when we recap it. Right? So this is the equation that we have. Take a common denominator, which is equal to 60. This will end up being 37 upon 60. We get the 2 down to the denominator, which will make A plus B plus C to be equal to 37 by 120. Call this as equation 4. I'm going to subtract equation 1 from equation 4. So we'll get the value of C to be equal to 7 by 120. Till this, as I said, there's no difference. In the earlier step, what did we do? We subtracted 3 and 2 from equation 4. In this way, the second method, I'm going to plug in the value of C into equations 3 and 2 and correspondingly therefore find out the values of B and A. Substitute in 2, get the value of B to be equal to 13 upon 120. Substitute in equation 3, we get the value of A to be equal to 17 upon 120. Here are the values of A, B and C. Same denominator. The one that has the largest numerator is going to be the one who is going to do the maximum amount of work in a day. A completes the largest fraction of work in a day. So A is the most efficient. How long will A take to finish the task? Reciprocal of this number, which is 120 upon 17. Choice B is the correct answer to this question. Before you leave, I want you to do 2 things. 1. Sign up as a trial user for Wizako's online GRE course at online.wizako.com. Takes all of 3 minutes and 2 steps to get started. And lastly, subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/WizakoGRE. We keep adding newer questions, give you tips, tricks on how to crack the GRE.